10:28. Passing through the carry-on checkpoint. I had my anti-theft chest bag strapped across my body underneath my unzipped jacket. An empty water bottle held in my hand, and in the same hand, a pouch bag with my essentials and spare sanitary pads in it. Late evening airport was still somewhat busy, but not as lively as I remembered it to be a year ago. Strolling down the wide aisle that led me to boarding gate C3, I forced into my consciousness the truth that this is my very first time traveling alone, deliberately trying to stir up waves of antsy feelings in me that I had over the past months expected myself to be completely washed over by in this specific moment. Peace. I felt peace instead. Minutes ago, Mom's trembling cheeks, her tears rolling inside her eye frames, but never outside of them. Mom's downward smile struggling to force into an even line. Dad's looking to all directions but me, though somehow his ear was always angling towards where I was standing. Brother's awkward attempt to fill the silence with his whine over the fact that the household chores would now be dumped on his shoulders for the next 44 days when I was gone. And my family stretching necks and their vigors waving at me as I moved along the serpentine queue in the security checkpoint till I disappear at the last corner, and they disappeared behind the last gate gap. I am officially on my own now, I thought, bending down my head as I sent my belongings onto the conveyor. That was minutes ago, and my mind decided to pick it up and review all of it again, so as to emphasize once more the fact that this is my first time traveling alone, and that I might survive or I might die overseas. Shouldn't we be feeling a little anxious? A little uneasy in this moment? My mind pushed. Peace, still, almost stoic. I mean, come on. This is our first time traveling alone. Alone? We're on our own for the first time. Shouldn't we feel something else, something more? Fear? Or at least excitement? No? No. On this aisle that was broad and with a few passengers fast walking by, my eyes were only looking ahead with every stride I took, calm, slow, and firm. On my way to C3, I suddenly remembered I should probably check my phone note where I had typed down the airport procedure in detail, just in case I missed something or got lost. And so I took out my phone and went through each step on the note. This was when I realized I somehow had done all without needing reminders at all. I looked up and took a glance around my surroundings. Suddenly I felt as though I was walking inside a massive subway station than an actual airport. This felt exactly like I was just transporting from one stop to another, like any regular day. And suddenly I realized, some time ago, I had stopped putting solo traveling abroad above me, way above for me, to never reach. Three years ago, I thought I was going to Australia, pursuing my master's degree in psychotherapy. I thought I would be studying, graduating, working in Australia as a counselor for teenagers or local Asian clients, and I thought my life would be just like that. And I picture myself finally happy, finally carefree and liberated, because I would have finally got out of this country, this place, this part of the world where I never felt I belonged. 3 years ago, the morning I received the email from University of Adelaide titled Offer of Admission, I read from top to bottom twice, counting each word in the email just to make sure I really got it. I got the entrance ticket into the world I envisioned myself to be completely free and happy in. I got my ticket. My golden exit ticket. My teaching job at school and some of my tutoring sessions happened to come to a full end around that time. It had worried me so much for a while because I just couldn't have left my students if they had needed me for the next semesters. But now they didn't. I could leave as a free man. It was so opportune that it almost felt like the universe knew I was heading my way to Australia, and to perhaps help me focus on my future study, it had to cut the old ties for me so that I could welcome the coming new life. The universe was paving my way, I see. I had taken care of the last work of my job. I had come to the last stage of Australian enrollment with my study agent Anna. I had received warm farewell blessings from my job supervisors, as well as the parents of my students. They were so proud of me. And I had told my friends I was leaving. I was half a step away from Australia, from the new life I had been dreaming since I was a little girl. For all 13 years of hard work and sacrifices, I was so close to my vision. Every cell of my being was ready for it, vibrating, exhilarated, knowing that they were finally about to come alive. And 3 years later today, I'm still here. I am still here because that 0.5 step was never achieved. I didn't get to see the gate of University of Adelaide. I didn't even see the gate of Arrival Hall of Australia, or the Departure Hall of Taiwan. After 3 years, I am still here, stuck in time, prisoned in place. Now the dream is lost. The center of my being is emptied and the soul is gone astray and missing. This is not a life to live for. This is not a life worth living for, and yet I am still here. Without the old ties to keep me in check, and without the compass for my next path, I stood in the dark of a misty forest, scared to death. I almost bumped into a foam board wall standing on the side of the airport aisle. I walked alongside of it so my hand had a support as my period cramps now kicked in. I twisted my head up and saw on the foam board, "New stand coming soon." I smiled to myself and looked ahead to the broad aisle again. I continued cruising forward to boarding gate C3, the first gate I'd see after 3 years, the gate with a digital screen showing large, Ava Air BR087 2330 CDG, friends.